Hey guys, Nick Marra, Marra Services. This is a job that we're doing for the Northeast Ohio Regional Sewer District in Cleveland, Ohio. The prime contractor on this job is Independence Excavating, and they've hired us to do a hand mine tunnel. The purpose of this tunnel is it's going to connect a new sewer that Independence will be building to an existing sewer. And you'll see once we get heading down this shaft here that this tunnel is being mined through shale. So kind of the process is they just take these jackhammers, which you'll see here in a minute once Chris moves out the way. Go ahead, Chris. Come on in. There's Billy standing there. That's kind of the face of the tunnel. That's all shale. These guys will be over here on the right. This is my brother Michael. He's on this crew. There he is. There's Mike. And these guys, they chip this shale out by hand, and then they muck out all the spoils, and then they install these rock bolts and mesh, as you see right here. Those rock bolts get installed using a jackleg drill, which is what you're looking at right there. It's a very difficult tool to use. You gotta know what you're doing. Not easy to use, but that's how you drill in those rock bolts that you see right there. So like I said, they bust out the shale like you see that they're doing here. They follow this laser that we set. That's how they stay on course. There's a laser we set it in a little mailbox actually. So they chip away and they chip away, and eventually once they get a big pile of debris, they'll come in, they'll clean it all out, then they'll put the rock bolts and the mesh in, and then we actually shotcrete the rock bolts and mesh. That's how we support the ground. However, one of the reasons there's going to be a part 2 to this video is because the shale turned out to be a lot more weathered than we expected. And so the project team, we all decided that it'd be safer and better to kind of pivot into a liner plate tunnel. So the next video of this job, you'll see us putting in the liner plates. I also wanted to do a part 2 so you can see us hitting the existing sewer and how we make that connection and putting in the pipe, so you kind of see the whole process here. But here's Chris and Billy chipping away at the shale, and they're going at it, and you can see how weathered it is. Look how easy that's busting out and breaking out these big chunks for them. It's nice. It makes it easy mining wise as far as getting good footage, but you know, you want good secure ground that you don't have to worry is going to collapse on you. So that's why we put in the liner plates as opposed to the rock bolts and mesh and shotcrete. So now they've got a big amount of debris chipped away, so Michael's going to come on in and muck it all out. He's going to pile all this stuff in that little muck box, that little buggy box right there. And once it's full, the crane will hoist it out and dump it up top. You just kind of keep repeating this process until you get to where you're going, and you're constantly checking the line and grade, making sure you're staying on track. And it's just kind of one of those rinse and repeat deals there. There's the box getting hauled out. So I'm looking forward to showing you part 2 where you can really see the finished product of what we're doing here. Now they're back to breaking, and that's pretty much it. That's the process, guys. There's a lot to know to keep safe, but these guys are good at that. They know what they're doing. Thanks for watching.